Welcome to the loop.
Welcome to the loop, everyone. This is a talk show about video games, now featuring 100% less Jeremy. He's gone. Trevor.
His mic smells great.
Gross.
Yum.
Trevor committed an act of violence. Thoughts and prayers with Jeremy right now.
Yep.
He's fine, but
I wanted a seat.
Trevor beat him within an inch of his life. So
I feel like I'm too far over here.
yeah, you should probably center that out. Just balance out the force a little bit.
Yes,
Trying to.
I
I always feel weird because with where the arm is, if I get too close to the middle,
The
I
mic
don't.
arm?
Yeah, the mic arm. I don't see our video
sure.
as much, and so I feel like I'm not as centered, even though I am.
That's a great explanation for why your midichlorians are unbalanced.
They are unbalanced. I need
But
to center
now-
myself in the force.
You have brought balance to the force.
Yes. This is.
Kuipers,
this
is there
interesting.
anything weird in the green screen? Or everything look okay?
Just
Not that it's a green screen. It's a wall.
It is a wall. See, it's brick.
if you could try straightening out that wall kind of to your right.
Straightening
Or
it.
Way over there.
Other way.
Over here.
Yes,
Oh, the light's not on over here.
that would do it.
There's that better.
Yeah, that helps.
Okay. Yes, as I said,
I'm watching in
again,
my delayed.
Welcome
video.
to The Loop. It's a talk show about video games. It's your weekly, just dump of video games. Your video game dump truck. We are here to fill you in on
dump
the happenings of the week, what's going on in the video game world and industry and in our personal video gaming lives, and let you in behind the curtain of a very unhealthy habit that we all share. And
It's just because we won't grow up.
yeah, and we
we're,
really encourage each other's bad habits.
Yeah.
We're trying to become serial killers too.
No, we're trying to become professional gamers.
That's you, Trevor, who almost
right,
murdered
yeah.
Jeremy.
Yeah. Thoughts and prayers.
The blood is still under your knuckles.
May he be back with us at some point in the future.
The doc said it's going to be a good couple weeks before he recovers from this beatdown, so we might not see him for a while.
I was getting real impatient. I
It was
needed
unreal.
some of that new Red Dead fighting because it looks so good.
Yes, it
I
does.
wanted to experience it.
In real life,
Yeah.
Trevor thought he was in a VR simulation, and he thought Jeremy was the guy that stole his horse.
He had that
Yeah.
PTSD.
And he's like,
yeah.
I'm going to beat you.
I chose the threaten option,
Mm-hmm.
and then I chose the beat option.
Trevor says, I press L2 and always go negative.
How did you already get to that point in that game and it hasn't even come out yet?
Just that good.
You're that into the game and it hasn't even come out yet.
Actually, I want to make you a T-shirt that just says, "Blood type go negative." It's just a Red Dead reference. Because I mean, you have two options. Typically, it sounds like in
Yeah.
the game: you either go positive or you go negative.
Or you threaten or shoot them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and those are both
Always antagonize
those are
them.
both kind of negative, right? So so
Yeah.
it sounds like you can give a positive answer or you've got like three negatives.
Yeah, you gotta-
You're an outlaw for goodness sakes.
You got to antagonize them before you shoot them, and then preferably antagonize them, tie them up, and then shoot them.
Trevor's part of the AAA club. That's always antagonize. Absolutely always antagonize.
Yeah,
Yes.
there we go.
I wonder, with as much detail as they have, if you could like round up a whole town's worth of people and just
Sounds
tie them all
dark.
up and like set them somewhere. I mean,
On
'cause in the
fire?
first- no, not on fire,
Oh.
but just
Just
like
set 'em
just
in
like
a row
put
there or
them
something, yeah.
like in the saloon. So like you just fill up the saloon with a whole bunch of people that are tied
Gasoline
up.
and fire.
or I mean, because I'm just thinking about like in the first game, you could take a roped person and leave them somewhere, like say on a train track.
Is a roped person like an ethnicity or a gender?
No, that's a person that you have roped,
sexual preference.
like a cattle.
I'm excited to see what options there are. I mean, I'm sure it's endless.
Yeah.
But I will be gravely disappointed if they have not included, only because the release date is the day that Back to the Future took place. If there is not a hidden DeLorean somewhere in a cave,
Yes.
I'm going to be very upset.
Or just a little thing, just a wall in a tunnel that just says
Stay out.
E.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like when
What's
they.
his initials? Something E, something B. I can't remember.
Doc Brown? Emmett Brown, right?
Emmett.
Oh, but he had a
something
different
Brown,
name. Didn't he have a different last name in the.
No, because it was
Yeah.
Emmett something Brown, and it was
Yeah.
all those initials. I can't remember.
Anyways, I would settle for that, but there needs
Yeah.
to be like a subtle little, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, a DeLorean would be my dream, but
even just some weirdo that's wearing like pink or like the red cowboy boots and the pink shirt.
yeah,
Or does someone has sneakers on?
And you can go up
Yeah.
and be like, I can't remember the lines now.
yeah, but just harass.
What is he, a Chinaman?
Oh, jeez, it was a different time back in 1985, Trevor.
Trevor.
I was quoting the movie. I wasn't obviously saying
That's
it.
what, Trevor says that a lot, though. Really,
I do say
we
that
really
a lot,
have to temper is that a Chinaman reference?
I just go around saying that about all the hipsters. Or whatever.
It must be Japanese fashion. Oh man. Well,
I couldn't remember any of the lines except that one.
yeah. No,
Left that much of an impression on you, huh?
I haven't. Well, it's not been that long. I don't know.
But yeah, I really hope there are maybe a little nod. It just seems
Yeah.
funny that I don't know. Maybe they don't even realize they're releasing on that day, but
Yeah.
it seems like too. Like, I feel like Rockstar pays attention to way too many details to not have noticed that that's the date they're releasing.
Well,
on.
it'd just be such a perfect little thing
Yeah.
to have there.
Maybe they'll just have somebody that's building a clock tower somewhere.
Or you beat the game and it unlocks the DeLorean and you can just cruise around the Old West in the DeLorean. I mean, they did
That
make
would be
GTA. It'd be easy for them to put a car in here.
That is true.
I don't make video games.
What
but
if
I'm
they
just
did
assuming.
that, and then you could get all of Marty's like '80s clothes that were in the back seat,
Yeah, and a hoverboard.
and a hoverboard?
Wow, this game is really turned into something that's not
game's
going to
gonna
meet
be
my
great.
expectations now.
Just wait for the mods to come out.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, if it ever releases on PC. I mean, I'm sorry, no PC Master Race for a while at least. Did they say they didn't officially say no PC?
It's just not
I think
But
they
it's
said
not.
no PC yet. At
Yeah.
least, so.
Red Dead come out on PC?
Nope.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking maybe this one wouldn't either, but
And like it took forever for I was gonna say Saints Row 5, but no.
no, it was GTA 4.
GTA 5.
Well,
GTA
GTA 5,
5
4
that took
eventually
forever.
came out.
Yeah, but 4 took, I think, longer than it
Years,
did
yeah.
for
Yeah.
5 to come
Oh,
out.
really?
Yeah.
I wonder though if with the success of the online that they've had,
Maybe, yeah.
that may change their tune to say, hey, let's make sure that we get this on PC at some point.
Could be.
And a lot of people have made suggestions that because of the money they've made from the online stuff, that's what has maybe given them the ability to
Do some
really
of the stuff
go,
they're doing.
yeah, just go so deep into
I wouldn't be surprised.
the Red Dead stuff. And
It certainly allowed them to take their time with it.
Well, yeah, because when did that came? The online stuff really came on was that 13 or 14?
I can't remember.
I mean, it was on the 360 first, and it was
Yeah.
really bad.
It was.
And then they figured, remember when you just load in and your character would just disappear, and we'd all wait on that screen for like an hour for something
the
to happen.
first month was it was so horrible. I remember specifically because I went to a friend's like a whole apartment, and we were so excited about it, and we were just like, all right, it comes out today, we're gonna play it, and then we didn't get to play it at all.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it was 5 years ago that the online came out. So I mean, that's
I really
Quite
want
a
to. I
while.
want to know what they're going to do with Red Dead because I mean, they could easily copy the GTA format, but I feel like since it's a Western, they really need to do something different. Like
I hope they do too. Yeah.
because it's not. It just doesn't make. You're not going to have horse racing events that are going to be nearly as interesting as the
Right.
the car racing events.
I
in GTA,
really
and
hope
you're
that they take some of like the idea of building your own crime syndicate that they've had in online and find a way to turn that into like running your own camp that you expand and you eventually can build stuff and kind of put together like that base building that a lot of people like with the way that GTA Online worked, that I think that could be a really interesting way to keep people on board, because if you're actually building stuff and building your own city or town or whatever in the Wild West, that's a really cool concept, I think.
I could see it going very like survival game, like
Or- yeah, that
way,
too,
you know what I
yeah.
mean, where you're crafting and building and you have to, you know, I mean, plus it seems like there's a lot of RPG elements to this
Yeah.
Oh
game.
my
a lot-
gosh, it's so. I love how much there is to like the. You have to eat. You have to bathe. Well, at least if
you
you,
don't
want
have to.
if you want to not be run away from. By
I mean,
everybody
best
else.
choices: don't bathe, don't shave, don't groom, but eat a lot and just ride your horse everywhere.
And randomly pull out your weapon at
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, because then you just get
Yeah.
super fat and smelly and hairy.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like that's gonna be my goal in this game.
See how fat you can.
Yeah, just how fat I can get,
A
how
lot of laughing
smelly and
people.
hairy. Just like a beard, like a big old like 6-inch beard and like I don't know, long hair. And it's crazy because it's like more and more is coming out. I know that GameSpot recently said they got an extended
Yeah.
play. They got like 5 hours, and they've been talking about that. It seems like yet again it's another example of them sharing more crazy stories that they ran into. But it just seems like it's that hygiene stuff affects you. Like if you're stinky and whatever, people
covered
will
in blood.
react to you that way and just kind of be like, oh, like I don't
Yeah.
want anything to do with you.
I love that.
I mean, it makes it a
well,
real
you-
interesting idea of like how are you going to play it, because you could go as I mean, there's just a lot of different avenues that you could decide to go down depending on how you play your character, because you could play it as the most disgusting, vile creature that wanders into town and nobody wants anything to do with them. You could play it as like the guy that's all clean cut and looks real great and has this reputation though as being like a crazy outlaw. There's just a lot of different things that I'm interested to see how the game itself will mold with what I start and where I end up with my character.
And I think that's what's cool about it too. I mean, there's no getting around that you're an outlaw,
Right.
So, but it seems like you can still play that in a very morally gray way that you can.
Sure.
Well,
You
and
can
then-
be an upstanding outlaw and make honorable decisions, or you can just be a real scumbag.
I saw there were ways you could shoot, like not even just shoot the weapon out of their hand, but you can break the guns apparently.
Oh, really?
If
When
you
you
shoot
shoot them?
'em, so-
Oh, that's cool.
I wonder how much that will translate into things.
Like because there's got to be ways to resolve things non-violently, or
Sure.
at least
well, with the
passively.
bounties from the last one, you could just tie them up and bring them in alive.
Yeah.
I wonder if there'll be even a step beyond that to where you can like.
Well, that had more money involved too. Like if you brought those bounties in alive,
Yeah.
you got a greater reward than bringing in their carcass or a piece of their jacket or whatever.
Tooth. Dom281 says, hello, how are you guys? We are doing
great.
well.
Well.
Thank you for joining us this evening. We're just getting in some hot and heavy Red Dead chat at the
click
beginning
that
of the
little
show.
heart.
Yeah, so I think one of the I guess maybe, I don't know what you want to call it, funny, interesting story that came from the GameSpot thing that I heard was they said that there was at one point, like obviously we've talked about how you can hit L2 to interact with anybody, and there was one point where they said they were just going through town and a guy was shoeing a horse, like he was on his knees working on the horse legs
Right.
up, he's doing what you do with a horseshoe. And at that point, hey, thanks for following, Dom. Hooray for you. No, really, we do sincerely appreciate that. Thanks a
Yes,
lot.
absolutely.
But anyways, they said they were like, I don't know if they're on a horseback or whatever, and they're passing him. And at that point, you could pull L2 and have an interaction with this guy. And they decided, no ill will, to be positive and just say, hey, how's it going? And the guy was polite, and he stood up, and he looked at him anyway, and he acknowledged him. Hey, I'm doing well. And at that moment, his freaking horse kicked him in the skull and murdered him. So the horse just reared back, kicked him in the head, and killed him. And the thing is like, that's so crazy because if they wouldn't have acknowledged that dude, he'd be alive right now.
You murdered.
But because they
amazing.
distracted him and talked to him, and he got up to acknowledge them, he is now dead. And like,
Oh man.
so the things in this game, like the way they could go, it's crazy to me. Like it just makes it seem endless.
Yeah.
And I've heard, I was listening, I think, to the Giant Bombcast this week, and they were talking about how like they really hope they don't see the gears start to show.
Yeah.
And it's like, and at this point, obviously, the most anybody's played of it is 5 hours.
Sure.
So it's like you might not see it, but like, how many guys are going to be shoeing horses that you're going to get to wave to? Like, is that going to be, because like that being a one-time thing makes it seem magical.
Right.
But like, if you start to see that in every town
see
you
it a
go
bunch,
to, it's
yeah.
like, oh, okay, maybe this isn't as So it's like, it's not a thing where it's going to ruin the game, but it's like you kind of hope maybe it is that random that it doesn't. But
Well, and I mean, I guess to me, it kind of sounds like it may be trying or at least moving in that same direction that like we talked about a couple weeks ago with Cyberpunk 2077, where there's all these different interactions that you can have with all these characters. Not to the same I don't expect it to be to the same extent, but I mean that sounds like that would be it's at least a game that's moving closer to that direction. Gameplay wise, which excites me and is like, okay, there's some different stuff here that we're going to be playing with this game that you may not have seen in the previous one or even the online or GTA or any of that stuff. So it's really exciting to kind of be anticipating what is going to happen with this game the more that I hear about it in that way. And I hope you're right. I hope that's not going to be something that we're going to see the gears where suddenly you got somebody that's shoeing a horse in every place. Hopefully they can come up with enough things in this to give it a real dynamic play that you're not running into the same things over and over again.
Yeah. I think and we talked a little bit about it last week about how like you have witnesses and they can go and report those crimes and that sort of thing. But also like seeing how that works, because it seems like from people's different stories, like you shoot your gun in the air or something, you can threaten everybody and say, hey, I'm going to come for you. And then like a lot of times you hear, well, those people went and got the police anyways. They're like, oh, I won't do anything. And then they go and they
run off and tell them.
Yeah. Even though they told you, oh, I'll be quiet about it. But is that something that's going to be random too? Like, is that like a dice roll, or is that like, does each character have that like their own like moral compass where some are terrified and they're never going to say a word and others won't? And it's just I don't know. I'm very curious how that'll play out.
It'll be interesting to see how much detail they've put into it with, as long as they've had to work on this game too.
I mean, 8 years. It's like one of the. I mean, I think it's the longest they've had between like one of their games.
Yeah. That's
and has it been 8 years, or is it? Or am I thinking?
13 was when Online came out. I think that 12 was when GTA 5 came out.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking? Number 8 is how many Rockstar Studios are working on this game. That's what I was confusing that number with. There's 8. All 8 of, or maybe they have more, but I know at least 8 Rockstar Studios across the globe are working on this one game. So
so there should be a game to define a console generation.
It's just crazy because it's like, who else really had, other than maybe the Epic at this point, who has the resources even close? I don't even know if Epic does
I don't
now.
think even Epic does.
Yeah, I mean, because they've had to have made like $1 billion off of the GTA Online
very quickly
at this point. But I'm just saying, like, there's not many studios that can that have the resources to make something like this.
Not many that have the resources, and then on top of that, not many that would have the dedication to do it,
or even the
put
pedigree
this much into one game.
I mean, I don't know if it's as much. I think that dedication, true, but I think they've been afforded that opportunity to put that dedication, because other studios are like, we got to get a game out so we make money, pay our staff,
Well, I mean, they have the pedigree.
The Rockstar name. You think of Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption.
State of Emergency 2.
That one.
Mm-hmm. The Warriors. I know, right?
The Warriors.
I'm just saying, Kyle, these are the games we think about.
All the games that we think about.
When we talk about Rockstar.
Before you jumped in, I was going to say, L.A. Noire. So, like,
L.A. Noire is a great game, yeah.
Their recent pedigree has definitely been fantastic. Thanks to Dom281 for the bits.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I didn't even realize he gave us bits.
Yeah, got some bits.
Show us your bits. No, sincerely, thank you for showing us your bits.
Trevy's wondering if PlayStation Plus will be required to play online. I'm
pretty sure.
Pretty sure, yeah. That seems like that's there's not very many places that are going to let you play for free like Fortnite does.
And that's not till like November, so
yeah.
I mean, I don't think not even like early November. I'm sure it'll be later in November.
Yeah.
And that's even just the beta, so
Hopefully they give you enough time to. I mean, it sounds like it's a huge game. It's one of those things where now it has become it's so feverishly overhyped in my brain right now that like I wouldn't even believe anything negative anybody told me about it at this point. I'm just like,
you're wrong.
I know. I just shut up. I just want to play this, and I want to believe it is everything it's going to be. And I mean, I'm sure there's going to be things where I'm going to be like, oh, this isn't quite what I thought. But then there's going to be things where it's like, this is something I never imagined, like could have even been possible, you know?
It's going to come out and he's going to hate it.
Going to hate every minute of it.
It usually happens if a game is really hyped, he ends up getting into it and being, oh, I don't like this. They should have done this or that or whatever. That's usually how it goes.
That is,
Eric.
you know, it's a. I don't know. I as long as there's no beta to ruin me with, you know, so it'll be fine. It was really that was the Sea of Thieves beta. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. I'm saying like there was that. There was the No Man's Sky hype that
I even think Trevor. I think that Trevor will back me up on this. That even with this game not released, it's not even comparable to No Man's Sky.
No,
or Sea of Thieves
I understand
or
that.
any of those games that disappointed me. This isn't even close to that caliber.
Well,
the hype level is so much better, and also it's just the knowledge. It's going to be great.
Yeah, people have been playing the game, and we've heard about it.
And I mean, on top of that, even if it doesn't hit all of the expectations, you're going to get a solid game that you are going to enjoy at least most of it. Or at least the playthrough and the experience, and if it is something that you're disappointed in, at the end of the day, you'll be like, okay, well, that was a game. It was a fine game, but it may not have hit what I wanted it to.
I can't think of a Rockstar game that's disappointed me in like ages. I mean, since literally
table tennis,
State of Emergency, maybe.
I didn't even play them back then, but yeah.
Real quick, Trevor. Hold that thought, real quick. Dom 281 says, "Why you guys are you?" You guys are really good. You should be more popular. We agree.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Share us with your friends. Thank you very much. We would appreciate that. Trevi
We're baffled too.
Yeah, we're completely confused.
It doesn't compute.
Trevi says, I'm good on membership, but it does HET a little.
I think you meant get a
little annoying to have that all the time for mini games these days. Yeah. I mean, it's $60 a year. It's like one game a year. You'll forget about it. I mean, it sucks when it comes out of your bank account and you go, wait a second.
At least now they have like all the systems. Basically, you get free games now. So
the free games
feels like you're getting something more.
For me, even though I don't play them, the fact that I have them in my library and I could go download those, it's
game. I call game preservation.
Yeah,
they're there for whenever like you want to play it. It's there.
I wouldn't be surprised if once the next console generation rolls out, there's a way that you're going to be able to go back and play some of those.
There's got to be at this point.
It may take a little bit of time for them to get that the way that they did this generation with the Xbox backwards compatible, but
not to go on a tangent, but I have a feeling with Xbox it'll be pretty easy because of the way
especially Xbox, the way that they're building it.
Like it seems like Xbox One's already built on Windows pretty much, so I think if they've got it running now, it should be easy. Trevor, you were going to say something and I cut you off. Did you even remember? I'm sorry.
I can't remember what it was. I know I was going to say one thing that I keep forgetting to say.
We were talking about Rockstar games being good, I think, in the past years.
That's what I was going to say. I'm just going to say it now. Red Dead Redemption 2 guaranteed 10 out of 10. I'm just going to say
Guaranteed. I mean, you are giving it a 10 out of 10.
No, I'm not even saying just me.
Well, but
I'm saying we'll see most people saying.
I mean, not Polygon. You're not going to see them give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, you'll get like
Polygon's
an 8.
Dumb.
No, but that was actually just like
8.25.
No, I was making a joke because they got rid of their numbered ratings.
Oh, that's true. That's true. They did, didn't they?
True.
So yeah, Polygon is. There was another site
how
that
frequently
moved
I've looked
away
at Polygon's
from
reviews.
too, I feel like.
I think.
Anyways, you are seeing people start to move away from the numbered review, which it's fine. I get you want people to read the review and you want them to make a choice based on what you're telling them and not just on a number,
right?
But like as someone like who I just grew up, I've been going to like sites like GameSpot since like the 90s,
yeah,
and like seeing that number was such an exciting thing to me because it was like, this is going to be justified to spend my money on this. And like, I just got so excited when like a big game came out and then you started to refresh browser tabs to see which, like before Metacritic, and you would like, you would like refresh the tabs to see who was giving what score. And like, I just have them all open on my browser and refreshing them. And I just be freaking out like as soon as the embargo's lifted. And like, that was such an exciting thing to do. Like it bums me out to see the numbers going away because that's just, it just meant something. Like it was like, hey, this is getting really good reviews. I want to go play it.
It gives you the ability to cut through sometimes some of the BS that's in those reviews too, because you may not necessarily agree with some of the different things that they want to focus on. Because I've noticed with a lot of reviews, they cut into something and they're like, they'll look at it and they'll be like, this is really negative. Overall, it's a good game, but this is the part that really bugged me. So half the time you're reading it and it's like, I mean, is that really what you think of the game, or is it not? And it doesn't necessarily reflect what the number shows. It's usually just a list of their complaints about the game, and then they'll be like, "Yeah, it's a 7 out of 10."
I think
overall.
so. I think sometimes too people do get hung up on the one thing they're being critical of. But
so not having that number in there sometimes makes it a little bit harder to gauge what the game what their overall thoughts of the game are too, because they may choose to pinpoint exactly their issue with the game.
Polygon's using some sort of recommendation system, at least, where it's like, this is a we recommend you playing this game.
Or this is a bad game.
This bad.
But yeah, I mean, it's all subjective to a certain extent. I mean, there are just games that are just not good games. Like that's just the way it is. There's no getting around it. But
name one.
No Man's Sky. There are some other. I'm just doing that to annoy you. I like that game. It's fine. But I think that there's just enough. I mean, I've come around someone who like, and I think I kind of overhyped reviews in the past just because that was the thing. Like I said, it made me very excited about like when games got good reviews. It was like, man, I really want to play this game. And as I've kind of gotten away from that somewhat, and I've, and mainly I have had a little bit more money to play more games than I used to in the past. Like I give the games that are lower reviewed a chance where I never used to before because it was just not in the budget, or there was no way to play it or whatever. And like, and a lot of times I end up really enjoying those games and think, wow, I should have, this me seeing that 7 would have I would have never bought that game.
Nope.
So are you saying I should download Super Lucky's Tale? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, you have Game Pass right now.
I
so
do.
You might as well download all the games until your hard drive's full. That's what I do. And then I go, why can't I download games? And then it's like, oh, I have all the Game Pass games.
I just don't know how much time I can play on the pass, the trial pass.
Just forget about it, and then the $10 a month will fade away into the distance. You won't even know what's coming out of your bank account. It'll be fine.
I'm sure it will.
It'll just disappear.
I'm sure.
You'll just be like, oh, where'd that $10 go? Oh, did I buy a burrito? Or
really, the convincing is my wife.
Oh, just don't tell her. She won't even notice.
She might not.
It'll be fine.
She might not.
No, Game Pass is cool. I had a 3-month trial, and I think it ends in October sometime. But I had it long enough to download Forza, and there I am with world-class golden segues. That's what they pay me the big bucks for. I want to talk about Forza Horizon 4 just a little bit.
I want to talk about it, but I haven't played it yet.
Well, you have Game Pass now.
I know. I tried to download it yesterday.
I was a real Crew 2 apologist. I fought for that game.
Yes, you did. Literally on the internet. In chat rooms.
I would fight with people on the internet and say, hey, this isn't as bad as you're saying it is. You poop faces. And then...
It was kind of funny.
No, it was Giant Bob. But it was... but then I got towards the end of that game where the rubber banding and the AI just felt very cheap and not fun. It got to a point where you could just pretty much predict what was going to happen in a race. Like it was just like, okay, I'm going to get so far and they're going to catch up to me and then they're going to pass me. And then if I make one mistake, it's over. That's just end of it.
Right.
And it was so frustrating that I definitely, after spending enough time with Crew 2, had to say, you know what? It's not as good of a game as I was maybe trying to make it out to be.
Do you think that some of it was the fact that the first game was so disappointing to you that as much fun as you had early on in the second game,
part of it for
you
me
were blown away with it?
Part of I know I wasn't. I guess I wasn't blown away.
Part of it.
Part of it. Part of it is that I think that just being able to go from an airplane and then just turn into a boat and fall into the water and drive the boat. That stuff was just that. Maybe it was a gimmick, but it just never got old with me.
It was
for
a
long
gimmick.
time.
It was a gimmick that hit you in the right spot.
I love just cruising in a car down the street and turning into an airplane. It's just like, here I go. Like that. That's just like, my little like 6-year-old brain was having like playing with his Hot Wheels. Like it was just like a fun sandbox.
This one suddenly is flying.
But I sat down last night, booted up Forza Horizon 4, and man, I forgot how good these games are. I've played all the. I actually think I missed Horizon, the first one.
I didn't play the first one either.
I played 2, 3, and now I'm in on this one. And there's just something to be said about the way the cars handle, the way the game makes you feel like you're a competent racer.
Right.
Like when you pass somebody, it's like, okay, I earned it, and you can get ahead of the AI, and they don't just magically rubber band you like Yoshi and Mario Kart. But
Mario Kart.
But it just feels like a very satisfying racing game. And the one feature that the crew did not have, that really struck me, that I kind of forgot about how great it was the rewind. Like being able to, there's some long races in the crew as well as in this game, and you would hit it, you make one little mistake and you got to do all that over again, and it is so discouraging that you do not want to go back to that game ever again.
I did like a 40-minute race and it was
in the crew too.
In the crew too.
Jeez.
I made one mistake like right near the end. I was like, not doing that again.
Oh, I know. It's
no
terrible. Yeah. It's like someone erasing your save file in a game, and you're like, I don't want to play through all those hours again.
But it was so boring.
Yeah.
Too. It was this like motorcycle race across the U.S. and I was like, oh my gosh, this is it's so terrible.
Welcome to the chat, VZ Ben. He says Forza Horizon 3 was horrible in my opinion. We just talked about a little bit about it. Everyone has, games are subjective, and that's a very acceptable opinion to have. I think that they made a pivot in 3 that some people didn't like, because they did go for kind of what the Crew 2 followed in their footsteps with, is this kind of social media, influencer type thing, and like they really leaned hard into it in 4. So if that's something that pushed you away from it, then 4 you might not like either.
The
real like
that you're like
the influencer type stuff. But I think that it's the one thing about this game that's interesting to me is that they leaned hard into that influencer thing, but also it's like definitely Microsoft's paid attention to Fortnite. And I mean, you have emotes now that you can earn. You have
do you get out of your car in this one?
Well, you are always out of your car at the end of the race.
Oh, okay.
And so what it does is, then like when you're playing with other people, if you win, you're standing there
gloating,
doing best mates or the floss or something. And it's great. It's stupid. They have the Karate Kid kick in it, where you can do the Karate Kid crane kick.
If done.
They have a lot of emotes in there, a lot of clothing options, a lot of like you can and it's all through the jackpot system, where when you finish a race, are you level up?
And there's like the slot wheel.
Machine wheel. So they have 2 now. They have a normal slot wheel, and then they have a super one that gives you 3 items. There's 3 things, and it lands on it. But like I got some hot pants, some red super short hot pants that I'm wearing now. They look real cute on me.
I'm excited.
But yeah, you can do the emotes. You can put on a bunch of different accessories. You can do there's custom horns that you can unlock through it, which is really awesome. They have like the dumbest sounds ever. They have one is like the silly flute, like the slide flute. Like,
nice.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
But the best one that I think I just unlocked, and I put it on. It's just so good. I'm flabbergasted. It's the Windows XP shutdown sound.
What?
Yeah. And it's so great just to roll up on another player and be like, boom, 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 like, or whatever that little sound is. Like,
Dude,
it's,
I can't remember.
I don't even know. I'm doing it wrong, but
It's hard to do.
yeah, but it's perfect. So they just have a lot of different silly references to things in there, and you can tell that they were making it, and they were just, it was fun for them because they just put in a lot of care. The other side of it is the seasons. So the way the seasons work is they're almost like the big event. You know remember how in other Forza games it would build up to this big event, and then the way it works is it builds up to autumn, and then you play through a bunch of your autumn races, and then it'll build up to winter, and then it'll switch to that. But then there are also like these adventure modes or something like that where you can go on, and there'll be races depending on what you choose through all different times of the year, like different seasons. So, but like I'm just in autumn now. It's wetter. There's like puddles and stuff, and it's.
I thought you were saying weather.
No,
it's weather.
It's weather.
It's weather. No, it's wet, I guess.
Sounds accurate.
But the thing that's just great about the game too is just the ability. Like the crew, I felt like it didn't allow you to do this as well as Forza, but when you put down a pin to go to a certain destination, you can follow the roads, or you can just take your little Pinto or whatever stupid little car you're driving and just go straight as the crow flies, you know, and you're just like plowing through fields of dandelions or whatever, and it's just
that's the thing I've loved the most about the Horizon series is that it is such a game that is what I feel like it's what a lot of casual race driver like games,
racing games.
That's people that want to play a racing game but want to play it casually.
Sorry, yeah.
That's what I was trying to say. Like
race driver games.
Yeah, race driver game. It allows you to play it in a way that you can. I mean, you have things that you're actually doing in between races. It's not just boring load screens. And I know I've said that before with the other two. But I mean, it really you can drive on the roads to get there, or you can drive like a complete idiot through the forest and hit 17 different trees in the span of 10 seconds if you really want to, which is what I usually do. Cause
slow you down a lot.
Yeah. But you feel like you're getting there faster because you're going as the crow flies.
Yeah.
And I think it even is just almost, for me anyway, I like playing it that way because it's like, I don't have to go by the road. I can go whichever way I want, and it doesn't feel like it slows you down. It doesn't feel like it destroys the way that the game is played. And I feel like it's something that really makes it a lot easier to come to the Forza world than the proper Forza game, because there's so much more of just the tactical stuff that's in that, and this has a lot of stuff that's just more free to explore and play it at whatever pace you want, however you want.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely. So I haven't put a lot of time into it. But I'm excited to dive in. I mean, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is out Friday. So that's
been getting great reviews.
Yeah, I was really surprised because I kind of thought, this might be an off year.
I thought it would at least not. I thought maybe 7s. You know.
Yeah.
But not 8.5, 9s.
I've been seeing some people like saying they like it better than Origins. I mean, it goes both ways, but
I'm still confused how we're doing one that is supposed to be before Origins.
Because they wanted a Greek timeline.
No, I understand, but I mean, it makes it feel like, wait, didn't we just see the start of this? So now we're going to back up a few.
Well, and I mean,
few years.
I mean, the thing is too, it's like it's technically is chronological because it's following the same character from like the modern day character from Origins, and this is happening after.
True.
So it's her experience after what took place in Origins, but even though she's going further back in time through the Animus.
I guess I've just never really, and maybe it's because I didn't play the first one the whole way through. The whole jumping into the Animus thing for me feels like it's the worst part of the game.
I've always thought it was
jumping out of the Animus.
Yeah, the premise of what actually has got you there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, instead of just playing the game as if you are the character that's there, and it's like, oh, I'm an avatar inside of an avatar. It's weird.
It is a clever way, though, to explain why you have a heads-up display or why you have like objective markers.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, and I've always enjoyed them. like even though it's kind of a little cheesy sometimes, it's always like
Yeah.
it's kind of fun because it's just like this weird like. Well, I've always loved like weird like conspiracy. I love conspiracy theories like in stories anyway. I think they're dumb in real life, but
They're fun in real
They're-
life, but they are dumb also.
yeah, okay, yeah,
They're fun
Yeah.
to like listen to
yeah.
and like
No, they're fun to listen to. And
explore,
that's what
But
I
not get too far.
but not to
But-
believe too much.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, and that's why I love them in fiction because
Uh-huh.
it's so much fun to like, oh, this is how they explain this, or this is how they
Yeah.
explain
Right.
this, or this is why this happened.
I think to me, in some ways, it makes it harder to enjoy the premise of it, because if I think too much about the premise of it, I'm like, wait, well, there's actually no stakes here. Like nothing that I'm doing. I'm just basically watching a movie, but the person is kind of living it.
The animists, so they're controlling the character. Like
Yeah.
they're
Right.
I mean, they have
But
a
I mean-
mission, and if technically if you fail, then that mission is gone, and if you kill that person off or whatever.
Right.
So I mean,
But I mean,
there's some
technically,
stakes there.
technically, it still is them
This
just like
episode brought to you
living.
by Omaha Steaks.
Yes, but I mean, they're technically just living through somebody else's history. It's not like they're changing the
I think they're
present that they
changing.
live in.
No, but I think they're changing some of the outcome of history, aren't they? Like
I thought it was always that they were trying to see what had happened.
It's more research. It's not they're actually
Yeah.
affecting.
I mean, in the
history.
second one, don't you get in a fist fight with the Pope? Like, I don't think that happened in history.
Well, it's I mean
Not in our
in
history,
that
but
history it supposedly
Yeah.
happened.
Okay. And that's the thing. It's like I loved the Desmond storyline until 3, just because I hated Connor. But like
Connor was so bad.
I hated him
See,
as a
and
character.
that was the first game that I really played all the way through, so I didn't care for.
was
I mean,
just-
I didn't dislike him or anything. He was
Especially,
just
like,
kinda-
He was just such a
I was
baby.
I was so excited because I was like Ezio was really cool.
Yeah.
And he was like this really dynamic guy. Maybe he wasn't at all believable, but he was this really fun character. And I was like, okay, this is really exciting. They're gonna take this Connor character. He's gonna be this really kind of serious character. Yeah. And oh my gosh, he was so terrible. Yeah, he was so whiny and
Yeah, I did. I think that was the only Assassin's game I didn't finish, other than like the weird supplementary ones that they release.
it was
like,
funny because I finished it in like a weird order.
oh really?
Because I mean, if you've not played this game, this is spoilers, but no, it's
that was
it's-
long. That was like 5 games ago.
But in the side quests, they reveal that the mentor dies,
Oh,
but they don't even mention that in the main quest.
Oh, funny.
And so I finished the main
Oh.
quest stuff before, and I was like, "Where's Ulysses?" I think his name was, and I was like, "Where? Why isn't he?"
So it was
here?"
like an optional side mission that
Yeah.
that most people probably would play because it was one of those that you're like,
Yeah.
this tells me part of the story.
yeah.
But I think I was really devoted to Desmond as a character. Like I was bummed that they killed him off in 3. Like I really wanted to see where that goes. And like I think I heard recently that like somebody at Ubisoft, the head of Assassin's Creed or whatever it is, they like made that decision because they thought they couldn't get the story to go anywhere if they didn't do that. But I don't know. I guess the other side of it is like at some point you just have to play the game and then have fun with
for
it.
sure.
So I mean, if you get really in, and it sounds like this one's almost like a superhero game because I've heard that the characters when they're fighting can almost like do like the Spider-Man, Batman like teleport to
Oh,
the
nice.
enemy like
really?
while you're fighting, which is a little weird to me. Like it sounded bad to me at first, and then I'm like, but I want to give it a shot and see like what
I probably
it's
will
like.
eventually. I'll wait.
Yeah.
I don't have enough money
I
to buy it right
I
now.
feel like that's. I feel like with as good as Origins was, they've earned themselves some more rope, and have kind of made up because I had played 4 and then the reviews that were what was the one that was after 4. Was that the one with like
Unity? That was the
yeah,
that
the
was
really
the
bad one.
Yeah.
That I didn't play that or
I
the
finished that game.
Syndicate one,
I'm
which
a
I think that I
glutton
got
for punishment.
Yeah, I think that the Syndicate one was free a couple months ago, so I think I have it. and
Syndicate
just-
was a lot of good.
I'd heard good things, but I was just like, as bad as that one before that sounded, it just I didn't jump on, and then this last game was so good that I think that they've earned
Yeah,
earned a little more
I think
rope
the year
with-
turnaround is what had everybody worried
Yeah.
about this game. Is like,
And the
hey,
fact-
they took a year off, and it was 2 years before Origins. So you're thinking, hey, they can't release a good game in a year, like because
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I think they took the time to rebuild the engine, so the fighting is similar. It's still like
Right.
like Souls game fighting combat with bumpers. I like Syndicate. Syndicate was great. But I think that I want to see what this is at, because what I've heard is it is kind of superhero-y, because it's like Greek, so you've got that Sparta mythology and stuff like that, and you can pick a woman now. So somehow they have figured out the technology to make a woman lead in a game. I don't know how they did it. It's been years coming, since like E3 2015. I think it's been a struggle.
Wow, it's the animations.
Yeah,
they had to get the animations
since Unity. They have been struggling to animate and model a woman playable character, but they've finally done it. So you can choose to be a woman or a man. And
you hear that, Jeremy?
Yeah, you can choose
to be a woman in the game.
And I think that I heard that like the male character is kind of like just a meathead, like he's maybe a little dense and little. Like,
I heard the female voice acting was more consistent.
And the female voice actor was better. But the most important thing about this game is there is a giant statue of a nude man. And
can you climb off?
You can climb the nude man, and you can dangle from his dingle.
I think you could do that in
I don't know if this is a very large statue, though. Let's just say you could climb like all the way under, like through the taint, and then dangle on the dingle. And there's been a bunch of like photos of people, because it's got a great photo mode, right? Because this is the modern era of video games. We got to have photo modes. There's just been a bunch of people like just hanging onto that uncircumcised wing, just like hanging there floating, and it's just it makes for a great pick.
Hilarious.
Magic moment.
Anyways, I'm excited to check it out. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna play Forza through like tomorrow. Then I'm gonna start playing Assassins, and like it's gonna be Red Dead, and then I'm gonna forget about the whole world.
Yeah.
Like it's just the whole world's gonna fade away into the distance.
I'm probably gonna because I still have to finish Spider-Man. I'm giving up on trying to get all of the trophies. Because I got to a point where I'm like, oh wow, there's that much more that I have to do.
You need to platinum this.
I don't need to platinum this because
your life will be more enriched.
Because Assassin's Creed is coming, and so is Call of Duty. And I've already got Horizon 4 that I still haven't even touched yet, and all of that before
I feel like
Red Dead.
Call of Duty doesn't really matter because it's like almost inconsequential at this point because it doesn't have a story mode. It's like
that's true.
It's like the thing I'll sit down and play for an hour or so, and then like it'll be a palate cleanser, and then I'll move on to something else. And
that's kind of what I'm thinking it will be too. Yeah. But I know that if I want to try and play that at all with anybody that I know and care to play with, I have to do that within that very small window of its release.
Yeah.
That being
Trevor reminds us that Battlefield 5 is coming out in November. That's true.
Yep.
Thank heavens.
Yeah, I'm really glad that got postponed. But yeah, if you think about it, we've got the 26th of October is like about 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
1, 2,
it's less than that.
3 weeks from Friday. So, but yeah, It's gaming time, and I mean, man, when a Rockstar game is being released, it just really changes the landscape of gaming for a while.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's always Soul Calibur 6. That's coming out the 19th. Oh, I'm sure everybody's going to be playing that.
So much.
I mean, you can play as the Witcher in this.
You might have convinced me not to worry about Call of Duty here, but Soul Calibur, I'm in now.
Yeah. I mean, I think Call of Duty will be fun. And I'm gonna play some of it, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be like, oh gosh, if I don't, because I don't know. I always look forward to the campaigns, even though they're short. But it's something that's nice and achievable.
And I mean, really playing the blackout mode. I've got PUBG and Fortnite, so I don't really have to have that to be playing a mode like that. So we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, Jolliver said he's been playing. He's in the chat saying he's been playing some of Assassin's Creed because if you did buy the fancy edition, I don't know what it was called, but you got to play it a few days early, so you could start playing today.
Yep.
And he said it sounds like it's pretty good.
He said he's playing as Cassandra. Cassandra is that the name?
Cassandra, yeah. But yeah,
so are the characters in that game, are they like, do you see both of them interacting, or is it just
that's what I don't know.
Just the one? Because when you were saying that the guy is just kind of a meathead and she's the one that a lot more players are gravitating towards as far as being a better character.
Yeah, I just saw I saw a little bit of gameplay with Alexios, and he kind of reminded me of like a Thor character. Like he kind of had that kind of character. And
I think you may have just sold me on him.
And it was kind of funny. And like I was like, I kind of like this character. He's not a Bayek.
Yeah.
Bayek was just a very honorable,
Bayek was
great
so
character.
likable.
But like, I feel like this is maybe a little more irreverent than that game. Like I feel like this one's just got a little more goof to it, maybe. But that's good. Yeah. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Video games. What are we gonna do? You play the video games, and then I was thinking about video games today. Since I was in that car accident, I've been going to the chiropractor like twice a week.
Okay.
And today, I noticed that I was having the same conversation with him that I had like almost the first time I went. And it got me thinking about like when you play a video game and like
the NPC,
and like you interact with it multiple times, and then eventually you start having the same conversation. And I was like, man, this is like if Red Dead were to start showing its gears. Like I mean, like it was like this would be disappointing, but since this is the real world, it's fine. But yeah, it was just one of those things where the real world met my video game brain for a little bit, and just kind of cracked me up.
That's funny.
Yeah. But anyways, we didn't really talk about what everybody's been playing, so I don't know. Has anybody been playing something that they want to get off their chest? Say, man, this is good. You should check it out. Something new, maybe, or fresh, or we went back to the well
Nothing
on something.
fresh.
We'll go for it, Trevor. I was gonna say something quick, but you go for it.
I was just gonna mention I have been playing a lot of Destiny Forsaken.
I've heard that's good.
Yeah.
It is a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it a lot.
I've seen people saying things on Twitter like the Destiny it always should have been, like stuff like that, and I'm just like, okay, man, that's a pretty bold statement. But
I would say it's still more Destiny.
Okay.
It doesn't change anything in a.
I mean, they killed Cade, right? So that's good.
Yeah.
Which it's kind of funny too because Nolan North, they hired him to do Cade's voice for this.
Oh.
Because apparently with Nathan Fillion there was a contract dispute or something.
Yeah.
And so it's a little weird to hear, the classic Nolan, the Nolan. I can't describe it right now. But
Yeah.
Is he the one that replaced Dinklage?
Yes. So well, and then I was
just
a little
the Destiny
I
fill
was
in.
a little upset because they didn't make a reference to that. I wanted them
Yeah.
to say like have the ghost be like, boy, he sounds more handsome or
I
something.
mean, Nolan
like that,
North
or
is like,
something.
I mean, if you're not familiar, he's like
He's
the most popular video game voice actor out
Yeah.
there. Like, I mean,
him and Troy Baker.
Yeah,
basically,
I mean, he's
between the
Nathan
two.
Drake.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say because of Game Pass, I've been playing Onrush, and I know Jeremy
yeah.
poo-pooed all over that game.
Yeah.
But that freaking game is awesome. I don't know what Jeremy's problem was.
Yeah.
It's I think
Motorstorm.
It only got a 76 on Metacritic.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think
Sucks.
man, it sucks. I think people's problem with it is that it doesn't have a finish line, and it's based on score. And I think,
that one.
yeah,
That's
so I
right.
think people have a real hard time like wrapping their head around that.
It's a weird new racing game.
But it's much more about class-based, team-based racing, but it is so fast, but it feels really good to control, and it's just like fun to like hit a ramp and do a barrel roll and then land on an opponent and smash them, and it does like the burnout takedowns and stuff, and then you earn a bunch of upgrades and stuff. I mean, I wouldn't say go out there. I mean, they shut down this studio because nobody bought this game, so I wouldn't say go out there and buy the game. But hey, if you can get your hands on it through Game Pass or something, give it a try. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I did, since we were talking about voice acting, I almost thought that there was a weird connection between Sony's big games that they put out this year, because I was playing Spider-Man and Tombstone, that big like is he albino or something? He looks like
I think he's kind of basically supposed to be undead or something.
yeah. Well, his voice, I was sitting there and I was like, is that the guy that was playing God of or that voiced God of War this year? And it wasn't, but it was like so similar, and I was like, that would have been really funny if that had been the same guy, because of the fact that God of War kind of has that dead like white look to him too. That I was like, how weird would that have been if Sony's two big blockbuster games had this guy voice both of these massive dudes? It would have been weird.
I haven't. I don't know how. I mean, he's got a very distinctive voice, but I don't know that I've heard him in a lot of different things before.
But I don't think he tends to do a lot of games.
I don't know if he does either. I was reminded of it because Trevi said Christopher Judge too. He's in a lot, and he was the guy that voiced God of War. I think he's in some games. I don't think he's quite as big as Nolan or what was the other one?
He's kind of known for
Baker. That's
other
right.
Stuff.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at him, I mean, he's probably best known for Jeremy's favorite show on the face of the planet, which is Stargate.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Kuipers, did you play anything?
I've been getting into Destiny 2 now that I actually have a decent PC.
Oh.
So,
okay.
that's been fun.
We need to play some Destiny sometime. We need to play some Gambit. Gambit's pretty fun.
I'm still like barely in the beginning though.
Boo. Did you
Get
buy
good.
you bought Forsaken stuff, right, too?
Yeah.
You should have a quick level up thing if you want to.
Oh, really?
I think.
Like
I
a
might be
little
wrong.
orby thing.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to come up with because the new level cap is 50, so I think it.
What's your light level, Trevor?
Yeah.
500.
500?
Yeah.
Holy crap! It went up since I played.
I think the new cap is like 525.
Oh
or
my
something like that.
gosh!
I don't know.
I have not played Destiny.
Now
in a
I
long
need to
time.
pull up the Destiny app and see.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
That's stressing me
I don't
out.
even. I deleted the Destiny app.
That's stressing me out.
I don't even know if I got to 50, let alone 500. Good grief.
I think the old cap was like 325 or something. So.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, there's a lot of games to be playing, a lot of fun to be had.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's just something for everybody. You know,
really is.
You can't deny that. I mean, just give me Red Dead at this point. It's fine. It's fine. Give me Red Dead and like a month off work.
Right? Like that would be great.
Just let me play that and just bask in its glory. I want to get into trouble as a cowboy man.
Oh, I was gonna say two things about Red Dead that I.
Oh yeah.
I love because okay, here's my thing. I like weapon degradation.
You like that?
If there's a way to counteract it, like
Oh,
not as
okay.
long as it's just like, oh, your weapon's broken.
Yeah.
Too bad.
It's kind of the worst.
Like I like how you have to maintain your gun. You have to clean it and stuff.
Yeah.
But I also really like, and I saw this mentioned. I like the idea of it. I don't know if I like it in game. It's interesting, but they have single action triggers to where you're gonna have to press a button to pull back the hammer, and then press the button to fire.
Oh, cool.
So I'm excited to see how that works.
Oh, but I mean, I think that's
Yeah.
like realistic, you know,
Yeah,
for
I like
those
that.
guns back then. So that's
Yeah,
I like the idea of it. I don't know how much I like the implementation of it.
I think it'll be really cool, and I think that'll be really cool too, because I'm sure they'll have double action triggers at the end too.
Because the other part that sounds like that could be a disadvantage is if you've got someone that you're coming up against with like a revolver that just
Yeah, well, and I'm sure they'll
lets
have
them
double
fire
action
with
ones
their
where you
yeah.
can just. Bam, 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 bam,
But
bam.
it's
So-
honestly, it's been so long since I've played that. I don't even remember how the shooting worked with that. Did it feel like it was as accurate to filling up all six in a pistol?
I feel like it had that. Yeah. The
Did it have,
reloading.
like-
Like
Yeah,
the reload? I mean, was it?
It'll be more intense for this one, I think.
Sounds
but-
like the sound effects are really gruesome too. Like you'll
Yeah.
hear like cartilage cracking and like bones breaking and
give me.
what was the other second thing you were gonna say?
Oh, no, that was two. Sorry,
Oh,
I know
okay.
it sounded like one, but
But
yeah.
the other, well, then you made me think of another thing I heard is like there was one experience where this guy, one of the people at the preview event, they like walked up to a dude who had like challenged him to a shooting competition, and he put up like 7 bottles, and he's like, all right, let's, however many you can shoot down the quickest, here, I'll bet you $5.
Oh, I think I noticed.
Did you hear this?
Yeah, this is really cool.
And so they do it. The one guy loses. The player, the guy that's playing the game, loses. He shot 3. The computer AI guy shot 4. And normally in a game, $5 would just be subtracted from your wallet, like right, like as that's just what you expect. But so he turned, he finished whatever I lost. He starts walking back to his horse, and this dude's like, "What the? give me my $5. Like, he gets mad, and then it escalates into this gunfight, and he ends up killing the guy.
Because you have to physically,
pull out your wallet
money,
and give the dude $5.
Oh my gosh.
And so, like, him
Can we just play this game?
Yeah.
I know.
So him just walking away from him started this fight because he didn't. Oh,
I wonder
man,
if
that
you
stuff
could
was
like. I wonder how
so
many
cool.
directions you could take. If you could like make it to a rematch or something. I don't know. That'd be really. That's so cool. I'm so excited.
Guys, this is really bad. This is reminding me we're gonna have like less than a week to play it, or like just add a week to play this game before Extra Life.
Nice
thinking,
segue,
yeah.
Kyle. That was pretty good. I'll give you that one. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and continue to plug that while you're doing that?
We are doing Extra Life November 2nd, so a week after the release of one of the greatest games that this generation's ever seen, Red Dead Redemption 2. We are going to be playing games for 24 hours to save children, which is probably more important than Red Dead Redemption 2, right?
Yeah.
Way to force my hand.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, be sure to tune in for that. It's 24 hours of just gruesome, gluttonous punishment on our behalf.
Yeah.
So it'll be a good time all around. Everybody can check that out. And hopefully we play some fun games. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some Mario Party, so you're not going to want to miss that. I mean, 50 rounds of Mario Party may just make us kill each
please.
other. It'll be
50
so much fun.
rounds? No, we are not playing it
Gosh, no.
straight
Hey,
through.
you just be
How
thankful
good
that
that-
this new one doesn't do 100 round, okay? Max is 50 in this one, so just be thankful.
you mean like 50 turns?
Turns, sorry,
Oh,
not
okay,
rounds,
okay.
turns,
I was
yeah.
like, we are not playing 50
No, it's
full
50
games of
turns.
Mario Party.
That's
I don't
not
even
as-
know if we could do that in a
Sorry,
full 24
misspoke.
hours.
Anyways, lots of fun. This Mario Party actually looks really good. There's a lot of this. So I hope to see you all there. But before we go, you got to climb the pole, the flagpole.
Yeah, you gotta
gotta
climb the
get Mario to
flagpole.
go
Yeah,
really
sure,
fast.
whatever, yeah.
I did put the link in the chat. It is extra-life.org/team/men in a tub if you want to donate. We already are a fifth of the way to the initial goal that we have for the 24-hour period.
Trying to get to $500 this year.
$500. We've already got $110 donated, and we're not even to November yet.
It's for the gosh darn kids.
For the kids.
All right, but before we go, we got to thank our Patreon peeps. That's right. That's all of the people out of there who donated the money to the men in the tub. No, that was a offensive
No, that was a really bad Mario.
We really want to thank all our Patreon peeps. That's all you lovely folks who donate at the co-producer level or higher. That means $10 or more each month. As you can see in shining Patreon coral, that's God of Atheists, Jay Oliver, two wonderful people.
Very wonderful.
Big hearts. Not from like an illness, but from love. They give of their monetary earnings to us on a monthly basis to help support us. It really does mean a lot. Thank you very much. You too could become a Patreon peep to go
Was that a really bad attempt at a French accent that time?
You can go to patreon.com/meaningatub as we will give you back rub.
That was actually a lot better than your Mario.
No, that's what we will do.
Jeremy will.
Anyways,
Jeremy will give you a back
Jeremy
rub.
will. His beard gives great back rubs. We've heard. But yes, please go there. Thank you for your support. We do really appreciate it. If you enjoyed anything you heard or seen, or saw, or heard, or listened to, if you
Talking's hard.
Let's just say if you liked what you saw here tonight or heard, you
Hard.
should share this hardness with your friends. Okay.
Yep.
Your friends and
Share
family.
it.
Just say, hey, check this out. You know, if you like video games, listen to these morons talk about it. You'll
Leave
like
us
it.
a review.
Give us a review on the iTunes.
Facebook.
Subscribe to us on YouTube. All the things are /men in a tub. Do all the things. And until tomorrow, when we're back with the Tubcast, be still your beating hearts.
Yeah.
Love y'all.
Nathan will be here tomorrow.
Nathan will. We're kicking Trevor out. Bringing
Trevor's
Nathan
out.
Jeremy will still be recovering from his violent beatdown.
Violent beating from Trevor.
Trevor violently assaulted him.
Yep. I
Yep.
might have to do some more. Might be out for another week.
Yeah, just go check. Just go visit him in the hospital and make sure to postpone his returning.
Such a jerk, Trevor.
It's fine. I mean, Jeremy had it coming, right?
Yeah, I mean, he does pop off a bit.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night with the
See ya.
Tubcast.